All right, bro. Let me welcome you on as my look, man. I've been thinking about this session, and I think on our last interview we spoke a lot, and we're covering about we covered church topics, we covered motivation, and I think I did mention to you that I'm gonna have a follow-up interview because there's a lot to cover, given like the the acumen you have on how like the mind works and how like people can actually develop themselves. So that's these are some of the things that I was thinking. But I want us to start with the very first question.
Okay.
And it's a question about your transition of mind. When do you realize um, the secret, or maybe that mind is actually powerful? When do you realize this?
I would say easily about 3 years because I was trying to discover myself, and the world will give you an identity, and in that process of discovering myself, I came across the taba ya hore your mind is your asset, because if God created a man in his image and then aba mo tlisa lefatsheng, ka batla gona ke eng modimo a e fileng motho so that motho a kgone go operate lefatsheng. And I discovered that hore ke kelello, ntho e modimo a e fileng motho ga kgone go operate lefatsheng, o mo file kelello. So that's when I discovered uh, about mindset and how powerful mindset can be.
All right. I have some of the things that you said on your previous event, right? Power of mind, and I'm gonna actually ask this conversation to actually revisit those statements that you made there, which I found very very profound. This might be a jump interview. I want to ask from that event that you hosted last day, how you've been, how's everything, how's because that was your first event, right? Yes. How's everything, right?
Uh, like after that event, I would say the life is amazing because now I talked about things that surpasses my understanding, and now I had to go back and live up to things that I said on that event,
Yeah.
because you cannot say something and then we don't see the result of that particular thing that you said to us. So you must see results. So after that event, there was a huge change in my life because now I had to practice what I said. Because motho le mong o nang botsa ge mona ka event eng eno o sa tshwara le pampiri, and I was like dintho tse ke di buileng mo kaofela tsone le nna di ntse di nkamaisa, because I had to go back and try to understand hore ke nna buileng ntho enana, and now live up to that so that it can bear fruits. And next time when I talk about it, now you can be able to take a weight and see the results. So I've been working on producing results, and then I will tell you sooner or later you will see the results. I believe you can see me, Mas.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you've been striving even before that moment. I think from a distance I could see you. You've been striving to be to be at the like more than an average person. I want to dive deep into how people received this startup of you and your team. How did people receive this? Do you feel like people are receiving it the way you thought they would, or the way they're supposed to? And where do you actually come from with the whole idea? Like, agree, when you discover something as a person that transform you, people would just want to go on stage and not make it a movement. So you make the movement out of it. How, how did you catch that thought?
Uh, Let me start here. For me, being a motivational kapa inspirational speak
Yeah.
was not enough, because people, not all people will get to taste you, to hear from you, and to receive the content that you have, because my bookings are the bookings are limited,
Yeah.
and then people attend limited events. People who attend events, such events or motivational events, are limited. So I turned it into a movement because I wanted to reach that particular person who's not able to reach me when I'm booked. And then when you are booked, you will see o tla bona gore ticket ya moo maybe it's 500 or it's 200. Not everyone can be able to go there and actually listen to you. But if your ticket is lesser, uh, people can be able to buy tickets. Jwalo ka re kgona ho reka tsa makuve tsa bo di-R100. You see, so that was the perspective behind it, to say let me go down to my hometown, and then try to build the community that we might need in the near future, because now community that we are living in now is not the community that we really need. But for us to be able to have that particular community that we need, someone has to start and change the narrative about the community that we have.
When you say it's not the community that we need, which community we need? Can you give me the description of that?
We need a safe environment, a safe community. We need a thriving community. Uh, Let me take it a bit further to say, let's check the number of unemployment, the number of dropouts, the number of teenage pregnancy. You will see the community that we live in is not the community that will sustain for the coming generation. So if we want to sustain the coming generation, we want to change the mindset of the coming generation, we must start now to change the narrative in the community that we live in. So that is the whole point behind Power of Mind, to say let's go down to Botshabelo and to say let's shift them from getting into gangsterism and shift them into making it in life. And then once you change the mindset, because gangsterism it does not just happen overnight. It's a mindset thing. It's a program. It's a program. Ya kelelo ya motho to say ke dula community in Lawrence gangsterism is too high, so I have no choice but to fall. So you have to change that mindset and redirect them to a proper channel, which to make it in life.
Okay, tell me about the period that you've been doing this, and how's the the execution process looking like?
It's very difficult. Uh, what I can tell Gore, people are not ready to be told that you will make it in life.
Man, okay, go in depth of it.
We live in a community that is not ready to receive such news. Like we live in a community that wants to hear about the funny part of life, but not really to face the the reality of life, to say I have to work hard, I have to become someone, and I have to be something in the community and the world. So they are not ready. So hence you see the number of attendees in such events is lesser than the number of attendees in other events.
Bro, the okay, speaking of numbers, people that you had last year, did you try to maybe track the record of you, how like the event impacted them? Because, okay, I know I was part of the people that were there. I was part of the people that were there. So as I was on stage speaking, at the back of my mind, there was this, tickling conversation that was happening. So I was thinking that, oh God, this is a very good step to start. But my biggest concern, not so much of a fear, but my biggest concern was, are they gonna apply what we're talking about? Are they gonna find way to pursue? Because like when you like I like what you said when you say people you find people not being ready to be told that you can actually achieve something, you know.
Yeah.
So now, if you tell someone that you can actually achieve something, let's say they get to a point where they are ready. So to my mind, it's like people are people who think that the step of being ready is the ultimate step. And
Mhm.
so the concerning conversation was, do they know that as much as I'm telling them that they can change their mind effort at a time, do they know that that effort, it's gonna take time? It's
Yeah.
not gonna be easy.
It's not gonna be
It's
easy.
gonna like put them at their knees. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm asking this question from. Did you track the progress or the impact that you had on people after the session, or maybe like just a life after they attended that event?
Yeah, I tried, even though it was not in a maybe formal setup, but
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But you must use we on toll,
yeah. Yeah.
because you were part of people who were talking there. So uh, I asked few people who were attending that event, and there was this lady, like we talked in length, Liana, about that particular event, and she was like, I realized things that I was not even sure they do exist in life. Like, for example, uh, Negesa Nahano Hosane, I would be able to say, let me change my mind and focus on the powerful part of my mind. Because now, uh, people know Banale Kelelo, but they don't know Kelelo Banale Matlaluka. So now, she moved from focusing on her mind, but to focus on the powerful part of her mind. To say, if I have thought about something, and then I apply principles that a speaker shared on that particular event, and then my life will change. That's where she happened to see that her mind is powerful. And then as I speak now, that particular lady is running a successful business.
Man, I love that. I love that. And that's what I think real mm, real transformation is, to to put on something that you think it's going to impact people, and to carry on wanting to see that that particular thing you're speaking manifesting in people, right? What are some of the, okay, not so many, but what are some of the outstanding challenges that you're facing with this movement?
One of the challenges is the acceptance in the society. Like, as much as they are receiving it well, I would say well, but I'm not sure if they are accepting the objective of the movement.
Mm,
Is there another? It's something to receive, and it's another thing to accept.
okay,
You can receive me, but are you accepting me?
okay.
What I'm trying to put forth, Corey, the biggest challenge that, uh, but we are yet to crack it. The biggest challenge is acceptance of the objective of power of mind. Uh, People now, I would say, they are going after the jump of power of mind, to say now power of mind is becoming popular, so we need to attach ourselves to that particular movement. But are you accepting the objective of that movement? When I'm saying the objective of that movement, about the vision of that movement, are you willing to change your mindset
Mm. To be the proof of the movement.
to be a proof of the movement? So that is the biggest challenge. So even I was discussing it with one of my team members, to say, I'm not sure if people are really uh, like accepting the objective, but they are after the noise of power of mind.
Which is dangerous. I saw it on my company.
Very
Which, yeah,
dangerous.
which is dangerous. How, like, Can you tell people how dangerous is that?
Yeah, but the
But what's the
responsibility,
negative thing it can do to your business or to your movement?
the negative thing, Gore, if people, because remember there are people who are watching to see the results so that they can be able to attend the event. So if people who are attending the event are not producing up, are not being fruitful from the event, then we are going to have the same number of people attending the very same event without a result, with no new members attending the event, because now they cannot see the results of the event. Of which now I'm going to introduce after interview, like Meloring after event, we interview people and to check up or to make follow up so that we can be able to upload the progress to
Yeah.
say the event about the movement this far managed to achieve this kapa this group of people are able to focus on their lives and their mindset.
Amazing, man. So I have this question, and I am very confident that like, you're the right person to answer this question. Looking at the number of people that you're working with, and you also serve in different forms, and these are right people for me to actually conduct a study or to understand certain things from the township, you know. So the question I have is, because you're working with kids at school, you're working with the members of the community, and you're working with customers, right, on the businesses that you hold stake on. What is it that you realize about people, specifically in the township, that holds them back? Like, what exactly is it that is holding them back? Is it lack of money? Is it lack of, what exactly is it?
I won't say lack of money, but I would say the education.
All right, that opens another thing. What do you mean by that?
Let me not say education, but let me say actually lack of knowledge.
Okay.
We have people who have potential, like a real potential, to can transform their lives, but because of lack of self-discovery, of which comes with the knowledge, accompanied with the knowledge. Uh, see the our 12 single over podcast, right? But you had to undergo certain self-discovery, of which led to you actually dwelling deep in finding knowledge about certain areas of your life.
True.
So most of us, most of the people, ba hold a lack of knowledge because ba bang ha ba so tsebe hore actually ke bo mang. So self-discovery that is accompanied with knowledge is what holds us back.
The lack of it, the lack of understanding, like lack of understanding about yourself,
Who you are.
who you are, and wanting to find more up through, like, I don't know, how did you get knowledge? Because with I'm sort of glad somewhere, like, you paraphrase the question from lack of education into lack of knowledge, because when we mention education, which is something that I'm mentioning on my booklet, when we mention when we mention education, people tend to think that this is a very exclusive thing. You have
Yeah.
to be enrolled into something to label yourself as educated,
Yeah.
right? But if you now mention knowledge, this is like acquisition of
Yeah.
information, and yeah, acquisition of information, like, whether you're gonna use it or not. But it's just that process. How do you do that? And how, or maybe how did you do it when you were going through the process of self discovery?
Um, Reading is very important when you when you are in the journey of self-discovery, because you cannot self-discover you cannot self-discover without knowledge, because self-awareness, it's very dangerous without knowledge.
Okay.
So you have to, reading is very important. You have to read books, you have to do researches, actually, especially in the fields where you are interested in, kappa you have that internal interest in. Now you have to read, and don't just read, but you must acquire a relevant knowledge towards the person that you are discovering, kappa that person that you want to be.
Okay.
So, and then try to source information, have mentors. There must be someone who's speaking in your life. There has to be that one particular person who speaks sense to you, who talks sense to you. And that particular person, you must follow him. You must have a mentor. Because knowledge, uh, apart from reading, Sesotho se na le this phrase hearing, tsela e botswa ho ba pele. Like we get knowledge from people who passed, from the experience of certain individuals. And some certain individuals abangwala experience a bonafide. You just have to study them. So, and then there has to be that particular person who speaks in your life, and someone who is there to guide you. You must have a mentor. You must read.
I see, bro. Now I want to come to a point of motivation. Because last time you said if someone, I think you said this on our interview. If someone can beautify themselves on a daily basis through bathing, why they can't take a motivation on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Tell me about the importance of motivation, and where do you think people are losing it? Because I think those the two things, education and how people understand education, to be clear, and motivation are things that actually are fading away from our community, right? I get a lot of questions around people saying, "Don't you think like education is overrated?" Something like that. I get a lot of sayings around the internet breaking like, motivation is not working. What works is discipline. And constantly people are saying that. It's like motivation slowly become irrelevant and in people's lives. Can you redraw like with your mind what's going on there? Do people make mistakes, or they don't have a suitable room to understand what motivation is? How is it important exactly?
I would say yes. Motivation is losing touch, as you said.
Yeah. Do you see it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because people are like, you see the post on Facebook. Someone will be like, I don't like motivators and whatsoever, motivational speakers and whatsoever. Not to say it is becoming irrelevant. It's just that Rona as individuals, we lose the true meaning of motivation. The internal you depends on motivation.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
As I said before, you can be beautiful outside, you can be handsome outside, but cracked inside. So motivation is there to beautify the internal being. So people are misunderstanding this, but they misunderstood the concept motivation, to say, what is a motivation? Now, when I describe motivation, I will say a motivation is an element that deals with the internal being, where we work directly with the spirit you. Because now, let's say you are facing challenges in life, right? Do you think discipline will help you to actually withstand the challenges?
That's a very controversial question. But there's a part of discipline that helps, but there's a part of motivation that helps. If you want me to break it down, I can go down on it.
Okay, but you're quite correct. So we cannot divorce motivation from discipline, because after motivation you have to apply discipline. If I tell you today to say each and every morning go and say I'm rich, do you think that motivation without discipline will materialize?
Okay, that won't. I think it will be a matter of time. But if discipline never take place in your life, it won't materialize because discipline get things done.
Yes. So actually I'm trying to say to you, yes, we need motivation for your internal being, or the spirit being, but the spirit you, that will work together with discipline, so that things can be able to manifest in your life.
Yeah.
Right? There are things tse lo reng ha o di fihlelle because of your capabilities, but certain things you di fihlella because your internal being was motivated, and then disciplined played a role in achieving those things. So you have to be your internal being has to be motivated to can take a life on a daily basis. And once, why re bana le depression? Depression comes because the internal person lacks motivation. Actually lacks the motivation. So for us to be able to overcome depression, we must be able to be motivated on a daily basis.
Yeah. Okay, for my side, I believe that to be true. So when I was in high school, I used to believe in motivation so much, and that was working for me. I was listening to the likes of Les Brown. I know like a lot of things about him. Yeah, and when okay after high school, I lost the touch with motivation a bit because of the influence, like the external influence. I didn't come up with something from myself that okay, motivation is this, but because of the influence, it became powerful enough to change my mind on motivation. But I'm telling you, for the past 2 years, especially this year, I then went on to discover like the power of motivation. So this is how I see it. You'll just tell me if that's the same page you're describing. So I believe my bike can take me from point A to point B if it's well serviced.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the discipline part of the bike. I believe a human being can do whatever that they want to do, like maybe climb the tree or stuff. That's the discipline part of it. So I see going back to my bike. I see motivation as the washing it, right? When I wash my bike, I really feel good, bro. If my bike is clean, to someone it's a car, to someone it's something else. If it's so clean, it gives me this sense that actually this is worth riding.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I
Yeah.
mean? This is worth riding. And sometimes when I go around, people, you have a cool bike, and that add on what I call motivation. So the motivation part on the bike is the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like it's the feeling good of it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because over time, there are times where I would ride it and it would be dirty. I wouldn't feel good. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Although it can move me from point A to
To
point
point
B,
B.
sometimes I would prefer to even Uber and just leave it because it's dirty. Like I don't feel good about it. Is that the page you're describing?
Yeah. We are on the same page.
Okay. Speaking of page, I'm gonna turn the page. Okay. So what I normally do, which is I call it normality, but it's such a new thing that I do. So this is the book where I'm writing most of the things about the people that I study, right? So I'm gonna well, I used to open it randomly, but right now I want to go to a specific page, and I want to hear your take on this view that this person said.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. There it is. So it's Tom Blue who says this. He said, poverty is not about money, it's about the mindset.
Yeah,
Okay, what's your take on that? How true is that?
very true.
Okay, how?
Like 100%. Okay. Uh, I'm allowed to use practical examples.
Yeah, for sure, anything.
Okay. Uh, Poverty, let's take Butsabelo. Ne? You find ka di 350. Ne, I want to make example ka 350.
Okay.
Okay, bas ka nkwatela,
Hope
man.
people are not coming.
Ne?
All right, go on. Yeah.
Someone applied for that 350 as a need,
Mhm.
right? Now, after being accredited that 350, that particular person now misuse the very same 350. That was a need before. Ne? And then that particular person, hosane hana phofu, kapa hosane cannot afford to buy dinto tse hlapang kapa hosane cannot afford ho patala taxi a lo isa CV somewhere. Kapa the very same person cannot afford to print out CVs, right?
Mm.
And that process, what was the problem?
What was the problem?
Yes. The problem was the mindset.
Okay, in what sense? So you applied for 350 because
It's a
it's
need.
a need,
Yes.
and it's gonna cover you.
It's
We assume it's
part,
gonna cover your needs. Yeah.
part of your needs.
Okay. Now you ending up misusing it on some things that we no longer deem as your needs.
Yes.
Is that what you say?
Yes.
Okay.
And then also you are still confronted with your needs.
And you can't take the CV somewhere which is your need.
Yes.
Okay. How now you're saying that's a problem of mindset. How do we see it?
If your mindset was in a way that you want to succeed, uh, that 350 was gonna be your vehicle to success.
Let's take a step back, right? How do you explain mindset to someone before like they get to understand the whole analogy that you're making? I think it's important that
It's very important.
yeah. How do you how do you explain what is mind or mindset?
According to my discovery, I would say mindset is the functionality of your mind and taking into consideration your subconscious mind, of which deals with a lot of factors that are affecting your life, your decision making,
Habits.
your habits,
Yeah.
your thinking pattern. How do you think on a daily basis? So that is your mindset, right?
Okay.
And then that actually operates your life. Hence I said, Modimo ke etsa motho a seta mo fileng yona e bohlokwa ke kelello. So and kelello e operator bophelo ba hao, ne? So now if your mindset is corrupted, is corrupt, then you are not going to make any progress in life.
Okay.
So now you have to restart your mind so that you can be able to, you have to reset your mind so that you can be able to make progress in life.
Okay, I understand.
From my narrative, when I was making an example about 350,
Yeah,
was actually going to talk about a thinking pattern of a person.
okay, let's dive in it.
What you want to be is actually 100% depends on what you think on a daily basis.
Okay.
So if ever you ignore your thinking pattern, if you ignore your mind when it comes to certain decision making, then it means you're not going to make any progress. Now, people are struggling to actually move from poverty to say maybe to a successful class, because now their mindset kapa their thinking pattern does not correlate with the person kapa someone that they want to be. Actually, I correspond le batho ba batlang ho ba bona. So mindset, actually, why they live in poverty? It's because of mindset. I agree with that statement 100%, because people are failing to make life-changing decisions because of their thinking pattern and the influence around them.
How do they change that? Like, if you maybe have to give them like a very simple step process, how do they do that?
The simplest process that I can give them is, since it's about ambitious. Now, the simplest process that I can give them, the simplest way to actually go about the restart of their mindset. Try to find who you are, follow that person.
A lot, like that's been said a lot. Like I don't want us to go to self-discovery again, but which is what you are saying.
Yes.
Like it comes bit vague, man. How do you find yourself and follow that? Because remember, people that you're talking about with the corrupted mind, these are people like that have a very holding back sense about themselves and about the world, right? These are people that are like they have a very chaotic mind. So, in that sense, they don't even know what's true or what to believe about themselves, but it's so easy for them to believe that they are not this, they are not this. So, how do you discover yourself? Because I'm sitting here thinking of about the person who doesn't have a very good mindset. Um, so, what's going in their mind is like, okay, who I am. I think I'm August, but of flip. That man is always busy. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like, there's
most
a lot
restless
of
person.
things. There's a lot. Oh, flip. You can't be that. You like. And when the mind says things to you, it provides a proof, right? You can't be that. You remember last year, this is what you did. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
how do you, because I really want that process, but I want us to make it very simple, right? How do you do that? I think the hard part, of, if you're about to tell me the process, the hard part about it will be the part of you have to know who you are, or maybe identify who you are. I think that's the hard part. If we can break that and then leave the other simple steps coming on.
Uh, Discovering yourself. Number one, you have to clear your mind. Remove the negative voices. And remember, the negative voices are very powerful than positive voices. But once you allow, so remove negative voices. Ne? I would say find where your potential is. Work on that potential.
So, okay, I'm just gonna try to break down what do you mean by potential. But by potential, you mean something that you feel like you're capable to do.
Yes.
Okay,
So now I'm trying to give them the simplest way to discover,
yeah.
to discover themselves. Uh,
Okay, step number one: find what you think you are more capable to do.
Yes,
Can we make that step number one?
yes.
Okay,
Step number one: find actually what you are capable of doing.
which is your potential?
What is your potential?
Yeah.
Ne? Right. Number two, work on that. Work on your potential.
Simple. Yeah.
Simple. Work. If ever it's about taful, sebetsa nalo etsa taful.
My man. Yeah.
So discover your potential, find your potential, work on that potential, right? And then after working on that potential, you will find confidence in yourself.
Okay, you find confidence because you sort of identify your potential, which is
Yes.
something that you think you're most capable to do,
Yes.
or you're most capable to do to an extensive point, right?
Yes.
And the second one, you work on it.
Yes.
because you work on it, you will fail, but you're still working on it. When you pass, you keep on gaining confidence.
Yes.
And that's what build up a strong mindset, a good mindset.
Yes.
Right?
Because now if someone is to convince you otherwise, you know you have tried that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You worked on that. And then the level of your confidence, there comes in motivation. Your confidence act as your motivation. Because now you know when I got here, I failed this many times, and then I moved 2 steps further, and then I failed this many times, and then I moved 2 steps further, and then I failed, and then up until I make it. And then once you make it, and then your confidence is at a certain point, Moloring, you cannot be convinced otherwise. You will be able to stand on grounds to say, yes, I know I can make a table.
I like that. Going back to what I said, mind would always provide evidence for the things that you sort of have. Because now you have discovered your potential, you have worked on it, you have passed and failed and gained confidence. Ultimately, now that you have confidence, when you go to work on something else, which might be something that you actually want, you will be able to flow in it. Even though your mind will be telling you negative things, it will remind you of the table incidents. Remember, you
Yes.
couldn't do a table, but you did it anyway. So now you can also do this. Is that the change? Okay,
Yes.
do we have a fourth step?
First step, I will say, now go out bold enough and kill.
So fourth step is the execution.
Execution.
I love this, man. Discover what you think you're most capable of, which is your potential. And number two, work on it. Okay, number three, it will give you confidence, and with confidence, go and execute.
Yes.
And execute more. Okay. I love that, bro. I have a question from a public.
All right.
Okay, right?
From the public.
Yeah.
Hey.
Question, right?
Okay.
How how does one come out of contemplating state and actually make decisions? Because some people get stuck there. What is consciousness in your opinion? What makes up consciousness?
Pala question of what?
How does one come out of the contemplating state, right, and actually make decisions? Because some people get stuck there. I'll break down the question more further, right?
Okay.
What is consciousness in your opinion? What makes up consciousness? Okay. So I think what the lady's asking there, she's asking.
Oh, he's the lead. Okay.
I hope that doesn't change your response. So what she's asking is how how do you end the always planning? This is what I want to do. I want to
Okay.
start a movement, power of mind. Like the planning mode,
Okay.
basically thinking, always thinking about this idea. You're always thinking about this idea, but you never do it. For someone who wants to be a photographer or videographer, they always think, okay, I want to start taking videos, but I never do it. And they only thinking, okay, this is what I have to get. This is like they don't start even at the bare minimum, right? And that's the first question. And she's following up saying many people stuck at that stage where they think about their ideas, they overthink, but they never execute. How does one get out of that? And secondly, she's talking about conscious mind. What is conscious mind basically? What's your opinion about it? What it is, and yeah, I think it's your understanding around conscious mind.
Okay. The first question is very tricky because I'm one of the people who was once stuck at some point.
Then you're a good man to answer. Yeah.
I would say the planning never ends. The hardest part, the most difficult part is to start. So what I can say to that particular person is to say, start irrespective of what you have, resources around you. When I was starting Power of Mind movement, one of the things that I discovered, Corey, actually each and every movement or event or whatsoever, uh, don't start perfect, but be perfect as we go. So if ever when you plan whatsoever that you are planning, at the back of your mind, you have that uh, forceful energy for execution, and then you will be able to start. Because I want to say done, but let me use that word name.
So then it's just a dude, man. Yeah.
So when we plan, two spirits are involved. When you are even though you are not talking, you are not planning while you are talking. Even though you are planning on your mind, there are two spirits involved. So what I'm trying to say, Corey, in the planning process, the devil is involved and the Holy Spirit is involved.
Okay.
Right? And these people, Kappa, this table of three people, seated and planning. The plan of Satan is to show you that this thing that you are planning will never materialize. And the plan of God is to show you that whatsoever that you are planning, you are capable of actually implementing it. So what I'm trying to actually tell that particular person is to say, listen to your first voice. The first voice in your mind, you must listen to that voice. And no matter what happens, go by the voice that you heard first. If you heard that you will be able to do it, then that voice must dominate your mind. And once that voice dominates your mind, the second voice has no power over that particular voice.
Lovely.
And then what I can tell, the first voice will always come from the Holy Spirit. If the Holy Spirit says no, Kappa, if the second spirit, the first spirit says no, you mustn't listen to the second spirit.
Say that again, like the latter.
I said two spirits are involved when you are playing.
Okay.
Right? And when you plan, there will always be a first voice and second voice. God comes first, not second. So when I say listen to the first voice in your mind, I'm trying to say listen to the Holy Spirit. Right? Because Holy Spirit will always have a say before the second voice, the second spirit. And once you listen to, sometimes we do things listening to the second voice. Let's say, second voice says, you know, Lemphane, you can do it. You can do Power of Mind. But actually, it was not part of the first voice.
Yeah.
Because we are so excited, we want to do things, and then we want to be known. We listen to second voice that says you can execute, but you must listen to the first voice. And once the first voice is out, and it must dominate your mind. And once it dominates your mind, the second voice has no space on your mind. And then you must go and execute. Because if it is
I get you, bro. What you've got to say about consciousness? Consciousness.
let me answer this one here. Yeah, stuck.
Okay.
Yes. The question said it's somewhere behind between. It said people are stuck at that at that point. We stuck because we want to be stuck. We don't actually stuck because we cannot execute. We stuck because we want to stuck.
So this, okay. I don't know if there's this weight, but like the stuckness, it's something that is within our control. That's what you say.
Yeah, I'm trying to actually say that you can control taba ya ho stuck.
Okay.
Because the universe, now you are taking me to Power of Mind 2023. The universe respond to you.
At least I won't have to attend this.
So the universe respond to you.
Okay.
So when you think, you align signals, right? And then when you talk, you force manifestation.
Okay.
Why Restaka? We think we never talk.
So we align our frequencies,
Yes.
but we never enforce.
Yes. When you think you align frequencies, everything is aligned. No je o batla lo reka 1400 kgono tsa delivery handle a di-pizza, right? But you are thinking of it, but you never affirm it.
Okay.
So it is there. Everything, universe has aligned every possible frequency for you to have that particular thing that you're thinking of.
By just thinking.
By just thinking.
Does that mean it's ready? It's sort of ready.
It's ready. When you affirm it, you force manifestation.
Is that why the Bible said the power of tongue?
Yes, because they knew Modimo na tseba hore Modimo o la kgona ho nahana hore mara ha nka re ho metsi a rowe ka lehare a tlo a rowa ka lehare, but ha ya fella kelellong. Ha o ya ho Genesis, Bible e re, God said, let there be light. God said.
It's all spoken.
Yes, by so saying, by that time, God was forcing manifestation.
The creation happened on what God said.
Yes.
On Proverbs, the Bible says, in the creation, it was Him and the wisdom, and I forgot this other third thing. Wisdom, which is something that happens on the mind,
Yes.
which means the wisdom was the alignment of frequencies.
Yes.
Whew, man, I got you.
Now I want to go again. So now, so people bastaga because now they think they never affirm to force manifestation. So you must force manifestation. No che if or ho pasega. Hey man, bona man. Ke rekile 52 inch. Ne. O sa e reka. A o e reka. O ithulo pasega o ibuile. Ne o pasega. And then pasega says to you, emana ke atla kgwedi e tlang ke tlo checkela. Are you aware you will be forced to have 52 inch ka tlung?
It happened a lot of times.
So that's why I'm saying, when you speak, you actually force manifestation.
I love where you're going with that, bro.
So dintho tse ngata re di fihlelle because we never talk. You must stand before your mirror and say, I'm the biggest broadcaster of in Bloemfontein.
Which I did a lot of times. Maybe that's why I'm sitting with you here.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. I get it, man.
Yeah. So you must be able to speak things. What you have on your mind, you must be able to speak it.
How do you speak? Do you speak in, I'm going to have this? Or I have this? Or how do you speak? And how do you really speak?
Usually I get with my English, you know, English I grade 9 in sharp. So next time I can like what tense or whatsoever tense.
Yeah.
But now, what I'm trying to say, Kore, speak things into existence.
Speak them as if they exist.
Speak them as if they exist. You know, every day, people, I'm too ambitious. I'm like, I'm the second best after Vusi. Tembigwa. So, I season of Vusi fella. I'm the coming giant.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying I'm the coming giant.
You see yourself as a coming giant. You are.
When I'm standing before my mirror, I'm a giant in speaking.
You like look at that giant.
Yes.
You're not like, this could be a giant.
Yeah. I'm a giant. Things that I share, but the capital for my consultation fees, you're gonna pay, because there is never a conversation that ends without me actually uttering words of wisdom. Because every day I acquire wisdom. I stand. Ke ema ka pela mirror ntate. Ke che. Ke kenye suit. Ke che. You know, man, you are a giant. You are the best speaker in the world. And I give you a holding about first start. So, but I'm speaking it into existence. So, who can move from stagnant? You must speak things into existence.
I love that, man. I think because of time, there are so many things that we're missing out, and we're gonna miss out. But I want us to cover the event for this year, so I think we should just hold our horses on that point right there.
Yeah, plus solution.
Yeah, yeah, I see. But what you are saying is so true. So you're saying the mind of a person is an asset, right?
Yeah.
After that asset, because at some point in life I discovered that particular I call it fact that your mind is your first asset. I discovered that, and second asset, which I wrote a quote about it. And I said, before I got the mirror in my room, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was, but I had people saying things to me. But after I got a mirror, it was different. I changed from reflecting myself from what people say, to remember the person that I saw before I went out, to remember the person that I was moisturizing before I went out. When you have a mirror, you spend a lot of time with yourself, and that's what is important in a human development. So I discovered that the actually mirror, which people don't like sometimes, it's the second powerful asset. It is also an asset, right? So, having that said, I don't know if you want to touch on consciousness. She spoke about consciousness, but I think your answer will correlate or will align with what I'm about to ask you right now.
Okay.
This is what you said on your previous event.
You still have notes. Yes, I'm very important to you, receiving.
You are. You are. So, this is what I want to say to people as well. So, what I've also discovered is that what hold people back is to want evidence in ways
Yeah.
that hold people back. Sometimes a person with nothing can speak something that will drift your life but never drift theirs.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was even telling Motaung the same thing. I was like, look, there's confidence. I mean, there's power in what people speak in confidence.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might not be a thing or that they cultivated from their mind, but sometimes it might be the thing that inspired them.
Yeah.
But they delay to act. But because you are good at acting, it can actually serve
You. Yeah.
So as the community, as people, we stuck at the point where we're like, okay, if he's telling me how to be rich and he's not rich, it means what he's saying is not true. Look, man, I can tell you the steps of being rich right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not yet materially rich, but I know the steps. Okay, what is it? Rich people don't work for money, they make when money work for them.
Yeah.
You understand? Okay, rich people, they give a lot and stuff. These are things that rich people, wherever they sit in, they can recognize because I'm recognizing them. But someone wouldn't take it. They're like, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that, you know. So, coming to this question, which you will join with the consciousness she was asking about, you said this thinking pattern, and that's why I still have these notes. I just wanted to make that clarification that I respect the things that you say. Most importantly, you cannot have the number of people like you had last year and not be important. You understand? That's the power of organization there. So thinking pattern is the only mechanism that influences the person that you want to become. This is what you said last year. Thinking pattern is the only mechanism that influences the person that you want to become. I want you to take us behind like the science of joining this statement. When you were saying this, what is it that you were thinking?
Anger, I was not thinking, Glory.
Wow. Take us through that.
So if they want, actually, if they want to know the power of mind, you must be the first example. Because now power of mind is really doing things to you.
It does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and I'm very humbled. Yeah, to think, and on Sunday this one,
Yeah, I did.
but I can like so. But okay, let me answer the question. When I was saying your thinking pattern is the only mechanism that influences the person that you want to be. The person that you have, the person that you want to be. How old doctor, right?
Okay,
You.
I didn't want to be.
No, but I'm trying to make an example to say the
you
person.
always aspire something.
Yeah, you always aspire to be something, about to be someone. Yeah. You have that picture of the person that you want to be. Either but that particular person will remain there. And it will take your thinking pattern to get to that particular person that you want to be. Thinking pattern, you can say your habits, things that you do when you are happy, things that you do when you are angry, your decision making includes all that. Né? And then how you think influences how you decide for certain things. Going back to that 350 example, people know they need that 350, but they are affected by how they think afterwards. So they have the end product, they have the objective to say, I need 350 for this. But once they receive on their way to receive that 350, their thinking pattern, their behavior around money affects the actual needs. 350. So lower as a person, your thinking pattern actually affects the person that you want to be, influences the person that you want to be. If you want to be a doctor, you have to behave in a certain way. And you have to think in a certain way. So when I read into the law, how I know the how about a doctor? And your thinking pattern will always be supported by your self-discipline.
I get it. So the self-discipline part is what your mind is telling you, putting it into action. Okay.
To say, if your mind says, I'm going to groove, get 350, your discipline will say, you need into the chapa. Let's not study today. Let's go and groove. Your discipline will actually redirect your thinking to say, I'm alone. Breadwinner.
Your last line of defense.
Yes. So now, your thinking pattern together with discipline, will be able to shape you to be that particular person that you want to be.
I see, bro. Okay. What can we expect in this year's event? I saw your lineup. I saw the likes of is it TJ Coach?
Yeah, TJ Coach.
Yeah, I saw him there. I saw the likes of a couple of people. Who's Lexman, which I believe in his poetry so much. Um, how is it looking like? How's the this year's event looking like? What people can expect, and yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but we prepared enough.
How do you feel about it?
I'm at a state whereby my spirit is just relaxed and waiting for the big day. Uh, like as I said before, each and every event or organization, when you have started, allow the event or the program or the organization to develop itself when time goes by. When I'm just
Mm.
development happens gradually. So, but what I can tell go, this year's event is not the same as the one of last year. So you must make sure that you come because it's not going to be the same.
I take that as an invitation. Yeah,
Yes.
bro. What is your greatest wish for people? Let's start first for people that attend the show this year. What's your greatest wish for them?
My greatest wish is to it's actually to see people from Botshabelo succeeding in life and then changing their mindset around things and around themselves because now they have to defend themselves from themselves.
Mm.
So I want to see their mindset changing, and also I want Botshabelo to be a safe space for the coming generation. So of which will lead to my new program that I will be working on very soon.
Okay.
Meloring, I will be focusing on the young age, like from 12 years.
Mm.
I will be focusing from people from 12 years, and then to change their mindset, and then bring about programs that will actually create a safer space for them.
What things that get you into sad emotions when you look what's happening? Because now you're working away from it and you go back in. How's like what is it that you look at you like, oh God?
Factor number one is development, right? We can develop in terms of structures, but are we really developing in terms of knowledge, in terms of uh, how many successful people we have in Botshabelo, how many people with different mindset in Botshabelo, and then the issue of gangsterism, the issue of unemployment, the issue of teenage pregnancy, uh, ew, alcoholism, wangtol, drug abuse, such instances. Ke tsona tse e le goreng every time when I check Botshabelo, I'm like, I want something that will create a safe platform for Botshabelo to move from this mindset, yeah, gangsterism and whatsoever, to actually into focusing on their lives. And Power of Mind is it's one step to that.
Initially, you said I shouldn't mention I, or you should mention we. I want to come into that right now very aggressively. I saw your team last year when they were preparing for organizing for the event when they were organizing. Um, Man, such a beautiful thing to see. So when I took a step back in my mind, I was like, is it because they are friends, or is it because of the dedication to the commitment of what they are doing? What are some of the like working ingredients that you put in your team, because you did extra well to expose the happening of the event last year together with your team. How does that come about? Because what I've noticed in business, well, I noticed this at the very early age of it, the hardest thing to do in business or in organization is to get the right people to uplift the vision or to uplift up to the vision, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the people, but you find out like they don't have the qualities that they think they might be having. I had this from my pastor last week. He was saying people are not what they say they are. You must be able to look through like the real lenses of who they really are. So you find that a lot in business, that people, when you tell them about idea, they're like, yo man, I want to work with you. And you put them on the workplace or where you actually executing this thing, and you find out like these are not suitable people. But from a distance, I look at your team as like, this is actually moving.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm just leading a group of dedicated people, and I think they managed to catch the vision firsthand, because at some point, nako tse ding you have to divide. You must separate friendship from organization or any sort of business. You must separate. You must be able to separate a friendship from businesses or organizations.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. Uh, our friendship and power of mind, into the bit of
Like that.
right? And they had to understand the vision. They had to understand what is actually the objective of power of mind, and then they fully supported that. Actually, if I was listening to VT someday, and he said, if the organization or the company cannot operate without you, you must know that you are not running any organization. You are not running any organization. Organization is running you,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
right? So now, it leads to my scenario to say, if they managed to work on my absence, then they understood the vision and they were fully committed in supporting the vision, not me. Because if they were supporting me, everything will when I'm this side. But everything is operational even when I'm not here.
Yes.
You can see the sticker did going, but I was not here. Uh, Cars are spotted with stickers. I was not there to put stickers there.
Yeah. Now you're here and there's a car outside there. I wonder if you have stickers.
And
Yeah.
because now I'm not responsible for stickers. I don't have stickers.
Yeah.
I'm not responsible for tickets. I didn't brought it. Like I'm here without any ticket because now I just got Botshabelo, and then I was a bit busy at night,
Yeah.
and then I have to return to Bloemfontein today morning to sit with you like this.
All right, bro. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. There's one thing that was just like roaming around my mind just before I ask my last question. Um, okay, I guess I guess I must ask my last question then. Oh wait, before that, which question do you think I omitted, which I was supposed to ask, or you would have loved to answer? Do you have something in mind, or do you think I covered everything?
Yeah, wabotsa price ya ticket ke bokae?
All right,
And I mbotsa gona tlabe ke apere suit e jwang?
all right, my bad.
No, I'm just kidding. Like, something that I would like to say, Corey. I like I humbly request people of Botshabelo to actually support Power of Mind and attend Power of Mind, because it's not as if on we are doing it for community of Botshabelo. And if you can see, since the beginning of the year, Power of Mind like had programs tailoring, they deal directly with the community.
Yeah, I think I saw you distributing the sanitary towels, collecting and donating clothes from
Yes, and having
soccer
charity soccer
teams.
tournament,
Yeah,
and they played role in our community because we know we still, even though we want to be successful Kofela, but we have those kids, we have those future leaders who are from disadvantaged families, because we can wish to have things, but we cannot wish to have a proper functioning structures in our families.
we have to create them.
We have to create
They
them.
don't come from wishes.
Yes.
Bro, this is what I wanted to say. Had you speaking about now you're gonna have a project that is gonna focus more on on younger people around the age of 12. I just wanted to acknowledge you on this. I haven't met this boy, but I know there's a boy that is said to be incredible about disc jockey, like being able to DJ and do like sort of our junior DJ, right? I haven't met him. I don't know how good he is, but I know him. I recognize him. Do you understand? So I wanted to acknowledge you on that. And I'm not constantly on Facebook. There is someone who's working on my social accounts, but I know the boy. So here's my thing, is what do you think you're doing? I think you're drifting into it, and what I like about it is that you understand that it's a gradual movement, it's a gradual process, or it's a process that will happen like over its time, over its given time. At some point, since I know the boy, at some point, I would meet people that are interested in that department which the boy is on, and the boy will be able to reach my network. You understand?
Okay.
Like my people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now that I know the boy, it's in my mind that on some things that I do, I can actually go home and be like, yo, I saw you with this boy, or you once mentioned this boy. So this is what I'm saying, that when you put the talent out there, or when you focus on it, even if people might not say a thing, but they see what you're doing. And for me, this is an acknowledgement that I can see your work. I always tell you that I'm proud of you, I'm proud of the things that you've done, knowing exactly where you come from. And I want to let you off the hook in people's mind. You are not so special at all. You just worked on yourself. I know that, I saw that. You were just sitting next to me, right? For real. Like, for real. It's just that now it's the opposite. But from a very young age, in class, you're just sitting next to me, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to let off the hook from people's mind, because normally what people would do to hold themselves back, not to develop, what they would say, it's like, no, it's a gas man, he's born genius, or he's smart. You are not smart at all. I've noticed that.
Wanziba
I've
Musa.
seen that. You're just a person that was willing to work on themselves. You realize the potential, you worked on it, you gain your confidence. And that's what we see.
Yeah.
That's what we see. So you going back and plowing this back to the community, it's so much inspirational to me. And there was a point where I was thinking about you. I was like, I hope he doesn't get eaten by the sharks of poverty.
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest. And these sharks are not people, but sometimes these sharks, it's what is in people,
Yeah.
right? Because at some point we lose the people that we had so much trust on them, that these people are actually driving it to where it's going to make us successful or happy, but we end up seeing this fading away and we wonder what is it. So I just wish like the sharks of poverty don't swallow you. And I just wish like the spirit is so strong enough to keep you going, because the spiritual world is actually more dangerous than
Then
our
yeah.
wishes, right? So I just wish you get protection there. Here's my last question. If your mom was still here, what do you think she would think of you? Or wherever she is, what do you think it's in her mind about you? Do you sometimes think of that? Because this is something that you don't have a privilege to view.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, I think, okay, I believe that she's very proud. Because actually I'm doing things tailoring every parent, kappa every mom will be proud of. And she's my guiding angel.
Yeah.
And now I so wish Lenaure I was in a position to can enjoy the privilege of having a mom.
Seeing her working with the guests in your event.
Yes,
In.
and again, I have this fear already. If she was still here, what if next October second zone today?
Yeah.
So, dintho tse ding ha di etsahala bophelong di etsahala in a way ya hore di a o protector and in a way ya hore di utlwisa bohloko. Because let's check. So batho ba bangata ba understand the issue. People don't even know like I don't have a mom. Ke dula le nkgono ka tjho hore vele ke ngwana hae. So you won't even notice. Ne?
Yeah.
Even the social platforms, people don't notice that. Ne?
Mm.
But on a daily basis, I live to make her proud wherever she is. That's number one. And number two, I'm convinced and I believe she's very proud.
I love that, man. I don't know if I should tell you something that you would love to hear. So this is what I've heard, that our parents, the people that actually gave birth to us biologically, what happened is that the part of them gets into us, and especially the mothers. This
Yes.
happened to mothers strictly. They are that, like, the parts of them get into us. So some of their aspirations, some of their genetic wishes, some like portion of them get into us, and what we are, or us, or as a child, like part of you gets into her. That is why at some point when the mother is sick, the only thing that sometimes can heal the mother is to see the child.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes when a child is sick, the only thing that can heal them is to see their mother, right? You see a child that is crying so much, but you never tell them that now I'm shifting you from my hands, which you've been crying on, I'm taking you to your mother's hand. Then keep quiet. They do that naturally, right? So I believe so much is in you. And thank you so much, man. I can exhaust much of your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, ke na leboha. Ke na lebohileng haholo.
And I wish you all the best in your endeavor, everything that you're gonna do. I wish you all the best. And yeah, where I can reach a hand, I'll just yeah.
And then for us we are developing. Now I'm sitting in front of a curtain. So but I also want to say this. You are pushing and very hard. Media is soon to recognize you. Not soon. You're being recognized. Just that we don't talk.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, we recognize you, we see you. And uh, you might not see it now, but the impact that you have through media, it's very evident. Your footprints in media are there.
I never know how to take such conversations.
So yeah, but
Thank you.
from what you have, may God bless and bless abundantly.
Thank you, man. I guess it's the pastor speaking and the prophet in you. Thank you.
So yeah.
Thank you so much, bro. I'm so much humbled. Yeah, I wish you all the best with the event. And yeah, like I said, that we're gonna find people that want to attend the event, but they don't have means. We're gonna just find some few tickets, but I'll keep you posted, and I'll keep you people posted on that, so that some people can attend too.
Yeah. Lena, I have something like 8 tickets that they are up
For giveaway.
for giveaway.
8. Yeah,
So
thank you so
so
much.
so yeah, I
So
will
it's
be
8 tickets already there, so I just have to think how many I'm gonna top up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just put it on our social platforms.
Yeah.